Hello everybody, and welcome back to my Roblox how-to series on everything that you need to know about how to make Roblox games. So, in the last episode, we talked about functions, and what they are, how they work, how to call them, etc. So, in today's episode, what we're going to be talking about is how to connect a function to an event, such as a touched event, like we're going to be working with in this video. So, we left off with something that looks similar to this, where we have our function, we have its parameters, and then we set its parameters here when we call it. So, the way that you will write a touched event is you type the name of your part, which for us is just part, and then you do dot touched. And every single event is marked with a little lightning bolt here on the side. That goes for other ones such as child added, child removed, descendants added, destroying, just to name a few. So, we have part.touched, and we're going to connect our function to it. So, we have to type :connect, and then we end up with parentheses. And then we need to type function, and then put parentheses because we're making a new function here. And this would be the parameters. And then you hit enter, and it should create something that looks like this. And there's a parentheses here at the end of end. And that needs to be there if you're having a connect like this, because if you don't, then you'll get some errors. So make sure that's there before you start coding. So then we need to take our function call here, and we need to put it in here. And now why can't we just connect it right here? Why do we have to put it inside of another function? Well, Roblox Studio has this weird thing where you can't have a function that has parameters in it inside of a connect. If this function had no parameters, we could just do something like this, where if I delete whatever you have right now, and we could just do :connect my function without the parentheses, and it would work just fine. But because we have parameters and they need to be set to something, we have to put them inside of another function, which to me seems really strange, but it's just how it is. So there. Now, if we run the game and we touch the part with our player, then it should turn neon turquoise, and its name should be Gerald, just like it would have happened when we call it regularly without the touched event. So, we step on it, and boom! It's turned turquoise and neon, and then we look in the workspace here, and right there, it's named Gerald. So that's good. And one thing that I will point out with touched events is that they fire every single time a single pixel moves onto that part. So that entire foot movement animation was like 5 touched event calls. And I'll prove this by putting a print statement inside of our function, and you'll see that it'll run a lot of times. So I'm just going to step onto it, and you can see it called it 9 times by just walking on it. So if you don't want it to run that many times, then we could do something like with an if statement. We could check to see if one of these properties is already true. If part.name equals Gerald's, then don't do anything. Else, if it's not, do that. So there, we could do that if we want it to only run once. So, let's hit play. and it runs a single time. I can walk over it as many times as I want, and the function is still being called, but it's not running any of the code. And also, we can probably put something like return. What return does is it just takes you back to the top, and it's kind of like a canceling word. So it'll just return back to the top and not continue to go down if things are fine and dandy here with Gerald. So I can go over probably one more event in this video, and that'd probably be destroying. So destroying, it detects what the name implies, which is a part being destroyed. So if we probably wait like 5 seconds, and then we do this. That's how you destroy a part, by the way. You do :destroy, and then the parentheses. And so when the part is destroyed, we can't do anything with this function because, well, there won't be any more part to modify since it'll be gone. So let's just put a print statement instead of, yay, the code worked. Not co-ed, code. Yay, the code worked. So when we run the game, after 5 seconds, then the part's going to be destroyed, and boom, the code worked. So this is a little bit of a shorter one, but it's still very useful nonetheless. And touched events are used in a lot of different things across games. So I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial, and in the next episode, we're going to be talking about while loops. See you there.